Toyota presents FC Dallas Extra Time, an all-access pass to your favorite soccer club. Coming up on our show, Mauro Diaz and Mauro Rosales show us just how high they can go. Plus, we're getting up close and personal with rookie goalkeeper Ryan Herman as FC Dallas looks to continue its dominance of the Columbus Crew. Right now on FC Dallas Extra Time, presented by Toyota. Welcome to FC Dallas Extra Time, brought to you by Toyota. I am Gina Miller inside Toyota Stadium. Joining me today, rookie goalkeeper Ryan Herman. So glad you can join us for this episode.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, FC Dallas getting ready to host the Columbus Crew here at Toyota Stadium. FC Dallas fresh off that game against DC United last weekend. We'll dive further into all of that a little bit later in the show. Right now, though, let's get to know Ryan a little bit more because you've only been in North Texas, just a few months now, right?
Just a little over 2 months now, but I'm loving my stay so far.
It's a good place to stay. Ryan is from the Seattle area. He was selected by FC Dallas 17th overall in the Super Draft earlier this year. Describe what that process was like, because you went into the draft not knowing where you were going to go or what kind of clothes you even needed to pack for where you would eventually end up going.
Exactly. So, I mean, the draft is in 2 days, 2 separate days. So the first 2 rounds the first day. So the day before the draft, I kind of braced my parents. I said, I'm not sure if I'll go in the first 2 rounds, don't be too sad if I don't. So I prepared myself mentally for that, and I mean, it's a struggle. You never know where you're gonna go. You could be in New York, you could be in Seattle, you could be in LA, or you could be in beautiful Texas, which I wound up. So it was kind of a stressful day, but hearing your name called, there's nothing else like it. It was a memory that I'll always remember, so it was amazing.
So do you get a phone call from Fernando? What happens?
Yeah, so I was waiting, and I was just kind of sitting there watching the TV with my parents, my girlfriend. And then I got a phone call from Fernando, and I couldn't really hear him very well because they were all in the hall. I think there's a lot of cell phones there, and I couldn't really understand him very well. And he said, Ryan, all I really heard was FC Dallas, we're going to select you. And then the rest of it was all kind of a blackout. But that's what I remember hearing. And then right after I hung up the phone, I just said, thank you, hung up the phone, and then Commissioner Garber went up there and said my name. So it was definitely an experience.
Well, anybody who sees Ryan, the first thing that sticks out is his height. The man is 6'7". I'm glad that there's finally a soccer player taller than me. Most of these guys are usually a little bit shorter than me. And obviously, anytime someone sees you, they see your height. What do you bring to the game, though, beyond that length that's so effective and necessary for a goalkeeper?
I think just leadership ability and then the ability to communicate on the field. I think that's crucial in being a goalkeeper, is being able to talk to the defenders in front of you, whether that be in English or Spanish. I've really worked on my Spanish since I've come here, and I think that goes a long way with the team, especially this team. So I think just leadership, communication, and then, of course, there's a lot of other little things in the game, but I think there's a lot more than just being tall. So.
You stepped up your game coming to the MLS. Last year for the Washington Huskies, Ryan started 18 games, finished 3rd in the nation in save percentage. How does that game, though, translate to the next level?
Oh, it's totally different.
Yeah.
Just the pace of play, the quality of players, it's unbelievably different. There's a step up from high school to college, but this step up from college to pros is unbelievable. I think it took me a little bit of an adjustment period, but I think now I'm kind of settling in. It definitely gets you out of your comfort zone. You're not ready for the pace and the style of play and everything, and everybody's so much better. They can find little holes in your game that you didn't even know existed. So it's been hard, but I really like it, and I'm challenging myself, and coaches are challenging me, the players are challenging me, so I'm getting a lot better.
And you're in one of those unique, tight-knit groups in the goalkeepers. With the goalkeepers, anytime you go to FC Dallas training in the morning, you see the goalkeepers working off by themselves over to the right. And it's a unique dynamic because the starting goalkeeper for FC Dallas, Jesse Gonzalez, is a young 20 years old. We featured him last week. You yourself are 22, turned 23 in June,
yeah.
I believe. Chris Seitz, sort of that veteran there. What is that dynamic like for you guys?
Well, it's very interesting. I mean, Sightsy's been unbelievable for us. Just coming in, having a guy that's played in the MLS, this is his 10th season. He won a national championship in college, which is something I failed to do. But just the leadership that he brings, he's got these little points here and there, and he goes about the game the right way. He does all the little things after practice, little things before practice. He's the first one in, the last one to leave. He just helps you out if you're having a bad day. He's like, he just has the words of wisdom that you need. And then it's also very interesting with Jesse because he's such a good player and he's so young. And I've never had a player that was younger than me start over me. So it's a really interesting dynamic, but both of them, I mean, like you said, it's a close-knit, tight-knit group, and everybody's been super welcoming. And with Drew Keyshawn, he puts us to work. But all three of us, we work hard and we push each other, and that's what I was brought in here to do, is to push Sightsee and then Jesse, and then Sightsee push Jesse. So I think that I've been working hard, and I think that it's working out well.
Well, when you came to Texas, which is certainly different from Seattle, you came to Texas and you were excited to be here. You're from an area outside of Seattle, and we think of Seattle, we think of the beautiful scenery there, but you're from a small, tiny little town. You aren't having that, Pearl Jam coffee shop lifestyle that, that we vision with Seattle.
Not at all, no. So I kind of live out in the woods. We live on acreage. My parents, we built our own house and everything, so we kind of, you have neighbors, but you don't really ever see them. Grew up on a dirt road and everything. So it's totally different. I mean, we live literally in a forest in the mountains. There's a river about 5 minutes down the road. So it couldn't be more different, but I'm loving the sun. It's amazing. We'll see how much I love it come August and September, but so far it's been great.
Okay, Ryan, you said you want to experience Texas when we first met, so we arranged this especially for you. Nobody else gets this, Ryan. You're the first one here. The chefs here at Toyota Stadium brought us up 2 hamburgers that you can get here at the El Jimador Bar, located on the northwest side of Toyota Stadium. This is the Verde Wagyu burger, and this is the barbecue beef burger. The beef is raised in Sherman, Texas. It's all locally grown, locally produced. I hope you're a beef fan.
Oh yeah, big time.
Okay, dive in here. We can eat on camera. It's okay.
All right.
No one's going to judge us, right? Have you partaken in a lot of meat before here?
Delicious.
So on that note, we're going to take our first break here on FC Dallas Extra Time, brought to you by Toyota. We're heading back to the nation's capital with some final thoughts on FC Dallas's win over DC United. And later, do you believe you can fly? Mauro Diaz and Mauro Rosales certainly do. They soar to new heights. Coming up on FC Dallas Extra Time, presented by Toyota.